Good day. I am Cassandra Agustin, and I am joined by Martin Caparas, Camila Crame, Hannah Gomez, and Julio Ebenza to present our proposed solution to solve high employee turnover in Xenochemicals Industries Incorporation. Xenochemical Industries Incorporation is a private company established and managed by Zenaida Agustin. With her degree of BS Chemistry, Zenaida Agustin started off as a sales representative for chemical importing. Through the mentorship of her boss, she believed she was ready to build her own company as an importer of chemical products. The company started off as a two-man business, an assistant who handled all of the documentation, and Mrs. Agustin handling everything else on her own, from picking up items to delivering them. When the business started to pick up, the company grew their operations by adding more employees. In 1997, she decided to import items instead of relying solely on purchasing from local suppliers. Her customers were feed mills, manufacturers, traders, and farms where she supplied raw ingredients such as vitamins, which were either added to another input or reprocessed in the form of tablets or powder. Currently, Zeno has 37 employees handling its operations. Mrs. Agustin still handles all importation related decisions, but their sales team is given the liberty to purchase items from its local suppliers, assuming that these products are not in stock. The business grew from a 25 square meter office warehouse to a 2,000 square meter office complex in Taytay, Rizal.
As seen in the organizational chart, the CEO works as well as finances the entirety of the company. In return, she gets financial compensation. On the other hand, the finance or HR or office manager and the assistant manager oversees all the managerial functions of Zeno and provide the necessary monetary compensation and employee benefits for their staff. Zeno operates on a business to business basis, allowing Zeno to sell to other businesses as well as get stocks from their own trade customers, ensuring them a steady supply of stocks and income. Moving to the staff, the accounting department handles all the finances and taxes of the company. The warehouse team handles all products imported and exported by their delivery team. The utmost priority is given to the sales team, for they handle the company's marketing and branding. Financial compensation and a familial relationship is given to them in return for their labor.
Although this company thrives with the retention of long-term employees or employees that have been in the company for years, the problem that is presented is that the company is unable to sustain newly hired employees. And this presents a very dire problem.
Now, in the graph presented, we can see the number of employees released in the past 5 years according to their age. It is clearly seen that majority of the employees who resigned came from the ages 21 to 30. This shows that newly hired employees and those of the younger age are prone to resignation. In this graph, we can see the reasons of resignation or release. Most of these employees were released either because they had other opportunities or due to their weak performance at work. Lastly, in this graph, we can see the number of resignations based on the number of years they worked with the company. We can see that those who only have been in the company for a short amount of time were more prone to resignation. This entails the group to find out ways on how the company can prevent newly hired employees from resigning.
So, for the root cause analysis, we identified four main factors that our group thought of that could be the reason for the increasing employee turnover, such as company dynamics, competitors, staff, and management. Under company dynamics, we think that the two major components that could have been causes were misunderstanding of company responsibilities, in which the employees failed to meet the necessary skills and qualifications to fulfill certain responsibilities given by the company. And an unhealthy work culture could also be a factor wherein the employees don't feel recognized for their contribution, or when they see other colleagues leaving, they could feel unmotivated, or simply having different core values with the company could be the cause. Under competitors, on the other hand, the employee could leave their job when they see that the other companies can offer them something that their current company doesn't offer, such as better opportunities as well as better non financial benefits. Another factor could be how the management is run by the company as well. The company may have weak benefit packages and low financial compensation, especially for low level employees that don't necessarily meet the needs and demands of their employees, making it one of the causes in why employees decide to leave. Lastly, under staff, we have decentralization and an unhealthy work environment. In decentralization, decisions can become uncoordinated and employees may feel overwhelmed by the amount of responsibility they hold, which gives them a lot of pressure. Also, an unhealthy work environment could also be a factor wherein employees are somehow overworked yet underpaid, or the relationship between co-workers simply do not work out, which can affect the level of productivity of the employee, causing them to resign.
Our group proposes three different alternatives that the company can implement in order to aid the problem of their low retention of newly hired employees.
First option in the trade offs and alternatives, which entails providing an incentivized manual per position to provide a sense of accountability and worth, and to fully understand the impact of their contribution to the company. Obviously, the first advantage is to instill in the people a sense of accountability and to understand the significance of the jobs that they're doing. In this way, they're going to be able to work hard for this company, especially with them knowing that what they are doing actually matters and is very significant to the growth of the company. However, the disadvantage for this is that some of the employees might not be susceptible to this kind of method and would simply want to be in this company for its financial compensation. Therefore, creating a manual would bring more time, would cost more time, and which is a luxury that is not sometimes available to all companies. Also, because of this financial compensation, there won't be a emotional attachment towards the job, especially with its responsibility. And the employees would only want to do this job not because they know the importance of it, but because of the financial compensation that they are given for this particular job. The second option of the trade offs and alternatives, which entails creating a non monetary incentive that newly hired employees can enjoy. One of the biggest advantages for this is that it allows the employees the assurance that the company is working also for their benefit, which will result in them working harder for this incentive. Further, the employees will not have to pay for these incentives anymore when the company is already providing this for their employees. However, the biggest disadvantage for this, aside from the significant increase in the company's expenses, is that the loyalty of the employees are already considered superficial. This means that the company will merely rely on incentives to earn the loyalty or the trust of their employees. Thus, if the employees are deprived of these incentives, then the company will have nothing anymore to hold these employees in the company.
The third option or alternative that we thought about is to initiate a growth plan for all employees. This means that there will be a roadmap for their career path in the company. One advantage of this is that they will be able to receive an informative and aspirational guide to follow. Aside from this, employees will also be more motivated to stay in the company and to be more productive once they see where their achievements or milestones may lead them to. There will also be a more firm and clearer job security. This will be a competitive advantage for the company as an employer because unlike other companies, Zeno Chemical Industries will be giving new applicants a better view or perspective on what promotions, rewards, achievements, and job descriptions they will be able to experience in the company. Aside from this, there will be a better evaluation of employees because the key performance indicators in the roadmap will be the basis of their work performance. However, implementing this option will increase more expenses to satisfy the incentives in the growth plan. This will also be a complicated option because it would take time and effort to develop growth plans for each and every employee. Adopting this may mean complete restructuring of the company.
Among the three different options, the group believes that establishing the growth plan is the most optimal solution because it will lay as a groundwork for all of the other options and future plans that the company will implement. As of now, the employees lack a definitive framework. The growth plan will then motivate them because this will serve as a blueprint of their future in the company. This also formalizes one's tenure and the possible incentives that they can receive from the company. The group suggests the use of KPIs or key performance indicators that can be used objectively to evaluate each employee. This will be done quarterly and yearly. We expect that the employees will be eager and motivated to work harder as they progress in the company. As a family owned and operated company, the growth plan provides everyone with a formal framework that can help its sustainability and employee retention. Moving forward, any plans of the company should reflect and be aligned with the growth plan, to which then will minimize uncertainty and informality within the company.
The implementation plan consists of 7 steps that will run through the course of a year. Strategic human resource methods will be implemented in creating the career growth plan of the employees. The first step will be the analysis of the organization's vision, mission, goals, internal and external environment. This will serve as the framework for the growth plan in order to accord every employee's career into the strategic direction of the company. The CEO, supervisors, and the HR department will observe the workflow of each department to gather issues regarding morale, employee satisfaction, performance, and productivity. The basis for the growth plan will be the collated data and researches regarding job designs, talent management, performance appraisals, and pay structure. It is recommended that the 3 approaches be used accordingly to each department's function. This can be decided upon knowing the job description of each department, which contains tasks, duties, and responsibilities of a job. Job specification should also be used, for it focuses on the knowledge, skills, abilities, and other characteristics an employee must know in order to execute their job correctly. The 3 approaches aforementioned are the following. The mechanistic approach highlights satisfaction and repetition, the motivational approach focuses on psychological work, and the biological approach highlights ergonomics. Upon execution, it is hoped that Zeno will be able to retain its employees longer. In talent management, the selection methods will be redesigned to ensure that the applicants they would eventually accept are those that share the same ideals with the company. They shall be able to see themselves fit for the job and personally want to build a career in Zeno. These can be conducted through test admissions regarding cognitive abilities, physical abilities, and personality. Upon formal acceptance, a buddy system may take place in order for applicants to experience the culture of the company, learn tacit knowledge, and build rapport with the incumbent employees. Constant performance reports must also be made as a basis for the pay level of the newly hired employees. Lastly, it must be agreed upon what pay level each department must receive based on the labor market competition. This is to ensure that they offer their employees competitive benefits and salaries. Rate ranges where senior employees earn more with more years in the company are also recommended. In doing this, Zeno may retain senior employees and provide new employees with a goal to attain through staying longer in the company. Key performance indicators, which is connected with rate ranges, will provide a structure where an employee's years in the company will directly be correlated with the salary, bonuses, and benefits they will be receiving. Performance appraisals may also be done in order to incentivize better performing employees and encourage productivity within the workforce. Upon completing the framework for the employee growth plan, this will be proposed via conference that will involve every member of the company. After the briefing of the contents of the proposal, a survey will be conducted shortly after. It will ask the employees their comments regarding the proposal as well as recommendations. Collation of data will be done a day after, and majority votes will be the basis for the changes. The final growth plan will then be briefed to the supervisors, HR department, accounting department, and CEO to assess the feasibility of the final plan with their available resources. Changes will be made to the proposal accordingly. The contents of the training will be based on the 5-step training process, which is the analysis of the organization's deficiencies as well as the employees' deficiencies. Second, all concerned individuals will be reoriented on the final talent management plan and the contents of the training program. Third, the preparation of the training space. It should be conducive for learning and the enjoyment of the employees. Fourth, contents of the training will be revolving around self-management strategies, and there should be active participation from managers. This is to ensure the employees that all employees and supervisors as well as managers are treated and seen equally in terms of training. Lastly, different training methods should be passed down to the future mentors, which are the senior employees. All members will then be briefed for the final growth plan, which will be effective immediately. The accounting department at this time shall be ready with the differences in the allocation of salaries for every employee. The HR department should also be ready with the upcoming changes in the workflow of the company, as well as to provide guidance for the trained mentors. All changes will be effective immediately and be subject to an observation period of 2 months. Reports regarding performances will be passed on a weekly basis during the month of April and will then progress to a monthly basis for the rest of the year. In the final part of the implementation plan, a collation of the reports during the previous year will be reviewed by the managers, supervisors, and CEO. All problems encountered due to the new plan will be addressed and policies and programs will be changed accordingly.